Well, we just went live without a doodly doop doop doop.
We went live and we didn't even know it.
We didn't doobly doop doop anything.
I know that Mercury is direct, but holy hectorini, it is not being very pleasant, I must say. But that said, there's a lot of other stuff going on, which of course we're going to talk about. Good noon, as they say.
We're dealing with
Monday
Mercury.
on Wednesday, and we're also dealing with an interesting internet issue at the shop. So he may be doing his magical things on his phone to get the shop up and running while we're here talking about astrology and all the other fine things. I will say that I have felt quite a bit of energy with the Reiki grid.
Oh, man. The offbeat is to the super.
And that's okay. We'll still count it. I have felt quite a bit of energy with the Reiki Masters grid that we set up. I've been charging it, and I feel that the energy is growing. And I think the more people that share it and can participate, all the better, because we really are coming into that funnel of crunchy crunchness. So thank you, Yoff. Thank you, Savannah. This July was a really interesting month, and it's when I had been talking about, the shit was going to hit the fan in July, and that we didn't know if it was going to be, war or martial law or cyber war or, what's going to happen. We talked about things with the airlines, and we talked about earthquakes and volcanoes. And again, I want to remind that astrology isn't an etched in stone saying this is exactly what's going to happen. But what astrology does for us is say, here are the potentials of what could happen. And then how you react or respond to it is what turns out happening, right? So obviously you can't change much about earthquakes and volcanoes, but you could educate yourself and not decide to, go tour Yellowstone National Park as your vacation. It might be better to do something else. So we have seen a lot of seismic activity in the Pacific Rim. Today, Indonesia had another, I think it was 6.7. And there's just, any sensitive person is already picking up on that unrest, let alone what's going on with governments globally, which is pretty interesting. And I will say that that's a good example of how to react or respond, right? Some governments are handling things really well and taking care of their people and making provisions and adjustments and working to keep their country safe and functioning and economically stable, even if they have to sacrifice a little bit. Where we can see other countries are emboldening their, ratcheting up, their puffing up and trying to push their agenda. And that may not work. I think that it's time to come to a humanitarian place and recognize that it is the human race and that we share one globe, and it would really be better if we decided to take care of each other. I promise you guys I will go through and make the list of all who's here and look at comments in a little bit, but Anton really is trying to fix that, and I can't really see those comments with or without my glasses. So I'm going to keep talking about the astrology because it is very intense. What are you doing this now? Okay.
I can do whatever you want. I've just sent you a note.
Back to the beginning.
Back to the very beginning.
Because I don't have a list.
We has Sean. We has Gilda. We has Yoff. We has Logan. We have Susan and Peggy.
Stop. Sean, Gilda, Yoff, Logan, Peggy.
Susan. You got Susan?
Yep.
Okay. Peggy, Savannah.
Peggy again.
Well, okay.
One Peggy.
One Peggy.
Peggy is after Susan. Susan,
Peggy's
Peggy.
after Susan. Yeah. Savannah.
It would be better if you just let me, I think.
You can't read.
Savannah, Laura O.
Laura
Taylor.
of the North. Taylor. Lizette. Anna. Carol. Laurie. Savannah, Yoff, Savannah and Laurie have all sent us super chats, and Savannah wants one for
Kaylee, 'cause
Kaylee
it's
for
her
her birthday.
birthday.
Happy birthday, Kaylee. She's a screaming Leo like me.
Yeah. All
How
right.
about that? Okay. All
So
right. And
that's
there's
that.
tons of comments we'll get to in a bit because you guys are hopefully we're getting somewhere with the.
So I'm thinking
stuff.
that so far, August for most people has been a bit stressful and a bit challenging.
I still got the bump. Look.
I know, and a bit emotional. And the moon is really doing some interesting things for a lot of us. But we also have Venus and Mars, which are both planets that rule our emotions. Laura of the North, not you, Lori, sorry. Venus and the moon are both part of our emotional makeup, and so is Mars. You know, if we were going to read a natal chart, we would take those positions of the moon, Mars, and Venus into consideration as much as we would look at the sun and rising sign, 7th house. We would take that Mars-Venus connection. So I think that whatever you experienced last week, the kind of energy that you experienced personally last week, like something that challenged you or something that you said, okay, I need to really step back and ground myself. I need to figure out the best way to handle this. I have some challenges that I have to meet, and I don't want to just, lose my crap and panic or give in. I have to figure out a way through this. I have to be inventive. I have to not stress myself out too much, or I might not see clearly. So that was last week. And have a think about how you worked towards remedy. And I will say that this week, as we, from now until we get to the Virgo new moon on the 23rd, I think we're going to be experiencing some of the most emotional, stressful, pressurized energy for all of 2025. This next 2 weeks is going to be something we really have to pay attention to. We really can't just fly off the handle. We really can't just throw up our hands. So what we have going on is a little bit of a challenge between Venus and Uranus.
Yeah.
So we know that squares are very difficult, right? A square means we walked into the corner of the table and it hurt. And now we have a bruise that we have to figure out how to repair.
I have a bruise on my head.
Right. So Venus and Jupiter, if you've looked out in the night sky, you've seen them together. Venus, the planet of love, value, possessions, how we love, what makes us feel comfortable, is in the sign of Cancer. So we really are seeking comfort within our home.
And nurturing ourselves, perchance.
And nurturing. And then we have Jupiter, the planet of expansion, expands good or bad, traveling very, very close. They're about a degree apart now, also in Cancer. So that's called a conjunction. 2 planets acting as one. What do you love? I'll expand it. But Venus is very emotional, so sometimes if there's something that we're really worried about, especially finances or relationships, Jupiter could expand that as well, because it is the great benefic, but it does expand things. So it might think that it's expanding your stress a little bit, so you hurry up and take care of it. And it's making these two planets that are acting as one are making an aspect called a semi-square, which is 45 degrees. Some people call it a half square, but I'm old-fashioned and it's called a semi-square. So it's not quite as harsh as a square. It's a semi-square. However, the planets involved are making it very interesting, because the Venus and Jupiter semi-square is to Uranus. So Venus and Jupiter are saying, okay, I want some comfort. I need to figure out how to fix this. Jupiter may be kind of giving us that ultra focus on what it is that we want to bring to us or how we're going to get comfortable. And we know that Uranus is chaos. And it's an impulsive kind of energy. So now you have love, money, value, relationship being opened up and clear vision on this. And Uranus coming along in Gemini saying, oh, I'll report on that. I'll get back to you right away. I'll figure out, I'll push something to stimulate a response, right? I'll bring this impulse, this inspiration, this active energy, this chaos, this thing you need to sort out. I'll really report on that in Gemini. All right. So there's that going on.
Got more to add to your list. You can add Juniper to your list.
Okay.
And welcome back, Juniper, and hello, Patrick Ollinger, who has just found our channel. So thank you. Welcome, Patrick. Hopefully you like us.
Become a member.
That is certainly an option. And if you want a reading today without becoming a member, just throw us a super chat of any amount, and we'll do your reading. So there, because we'll like that.
All right, so now we all know Mercury went direct. I'm sure we all know Mercury went direct, but it's still in the shadow.
Ain't it? I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I'm telling you.
Well, even I think, a lot of places are feeling, I think a square had a denial, we're hacked, and it's just been crazy. Oh. All right. So Mercury is in Leo. And Leo, Leo is the actor and the outspoken one.
Really?
And Mercury is the communicator and the creator. So you have this very creative, outspoken energy of Leo that Mercury is acting through. Now, it is opposing Pluto, right? So Mercury says, I'm going to be very creative. And I want to communicate, and I want to be seen. I need to get noticed. And Pluto says, well, it better be the truth, because I'm going to expose it. You want to be recognized, you want to be seen. Pluto in Aquarius, opposite that, is going to push that out. So make sure when you're communicating that you, because of Mercury being in the shadow, and opposing Pluto, make sure that you are very concise, right? Lots of extra words where things might be misconstrued or taken, to an emotional extreme. Less is more, and be direct, right? If you want to elaborate afterwards, great, but don't just beat around the bush. If it's going to be no, say no. And here's why. Don't just give this blah, 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 blah. You've got to be concise because that's going to be a challenge. Also, Mercury is making a sextile to Mars. Mars is in Libra. So Mars says, I'm really not comfortable here. I'm usually in Aries, the opposite sign, but I'll deal with it. And what Mars does is push, act, right? arrow going out. In Libra, Mars is pushing for justice and pushing for justification. And a sextile is sort of like a trine, right? It's like a little lesser trine where the semi-square is a lesser square, sextile is a lesser trine. Are you still having big, oh my goodness, okay. So
it might be worse than that. Nicole, put Nicole on the list.
Okay.
Thank you for the super chat, Nicole. We're up to 7 super chats,
oh my
folks.
God.
3 more, and we've got your book club tonight.
All right. So Mars is pushing justice, and this might be a time where you notice a lot of things that have to do with justice, and it is a time where directness and diplomacy is really important. I cannot tell you, this week, the rest of this week, going towards the 23rd, there is going to be so much emotional stuff and upheaval and information coming out and people acting maybe out of character. It might be very difficult. Now, Leo is also the drama llama, right? So all these things that are already fueled by chaos and values and communication and Marsy energy, you know, we've got that little extra added value of drama. Don't be thrown off course. Don't lose your ability to ground. Okay. Thursday,
run away. It's my birthday.
Thursday,
which is tomorrow, my birthday. Yay!
The moon, the planet that governs our emotions and the things we like to keep hidden and secret. The moon will be in Taurus, and it will be in the early degree of Taurus, so it will be squaring Pluto and squaring Mercury. So that may not be the easiest day to deal with your emotions. And you may not be able to keep your emotions a secret. And people may be badgering you with communication to try to draw you out. So, Friday, the moon squares the sun. So these are the two luminaries. That might be also a difficult day to express yourself. Or help people understand where you're coming from. Then Saturday, we get the second hit, right? The second hit of this Mercury sextile Mars. So another deep dive into diplomacy and justice and pushing for balance and trying to communicate. Oh boy.
Just need to look at something.
I guess it's really bad. All right. Then we also have the moon conjunct Uranus. So that the moon that keeps moving, it's moved through Taurus. And by Saturday, it's acting as one with Uranus. So that puts more emotions on this impulsiveness that we have. And let's not forget that Uranus is still making that semi-square to the Neptune-Saturn conjunction, which is that challenge of what's real and what's not real. What's a dream? What's a reality? How can we manifest our dreams into reality through this chaotic bit of energy that we're getting from Uranus? But it also makes a trine to Pluto, so there is some saving grace. And that kite configuration that I talked about last week is still in effect and being magnified. So, yeah. And Sunday, we still are going to feel that sextile of that Mercury-Mars. So a lot of inner planets are really affecting our personal lives, while these outer planets are affecting, our more public, global lives. But these next 2 weeks are very, very intense to navigate, and I hope that everybody takes a deep breath and counts to 10 or 100 before you react to information that may just be information that is sent to try to provoke you. All right. So, you think the semi-square 45 or 40 degrees apart?
It's 45.
45.
Yeah, it's half a square.
Half a square, right? So a
it's
square
even more
90.
pointy than a square. Just so you know.
Well, it's supposed to be not as harsh as a square.
It's not as harsh because it's more like, you know.
But we have a lot of it's very interesting because we have these inner planets, which are the Sun, Moon, Mercury, Mars, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn. They're all playing big roles and making all of these connections and aspects to each other that are going to be very intense. I think that people should look at their chart and see where Taurus and Gemini are. There's going to be a lot of action in that Taurus-Gemini sector as the moon moves Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then, of course, Leo is being set off by that square between Venus and Jupiter and Uranus. So fixed sign places are still the places to watch. Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius. And Scorpio, again, is that answer because there's really not action there. Everything is in the other fixed signs. So what is Scorpio? Scorpio is getting to the depth of things, exposing the secrets, dealing with death and rebirth. So that's the answer. But seriously, we really need to take a deep breath. There is going to be so much information and so much that may not be the truth, right? You're going to see this big push forward of AI, and it's getting harder and harder to tell, is that a real picture? When we were young, there was always that crazy National Enquirer that would take pictures and like Photoshop somebody together that was just so incongruous and make up these crazy stories with Photoshopped pictures. And, if you think about that, what we're experiencing now is like that on crack. That, you really have to do your research, especially before you fly off the handle.
The office just sent us a ridiculously big super chat for my birthday.
Oh.
That's just too kind.
Holy moly.
That is the biggest super chat we have ever received.
Well, it's up there. I think we had one of those once before, close to that.
I think somebody did a wild one, didn't I? think somebody did drop us $50 one time. I think they were particularly overjoyed. I don't recall now, but that was lovely. This is lovely.
Thank you. We're doing really well today.
No, we are. Every little bit helps, believe us. Thank you. We've got Tarot decks to print. We've got...
Tarot decks to print.
Tarot decks to print and all manner of stuff.
All right. So I think that's my spew.
It is.
And
we're doing
holy moly.
Yeah, I think Yoff has definitely scored himself the number one
He's
fan
got the
slot.
Crown today. He's got the crown.
I expect to see Yoff wearing the crown next time I see him. That would be fantastic.
Don't tempt him.
I think he could totally rock a crown.
I think he's more the tiara type.
You said that. You said that. I did not.
I think he is. I think that would look really cool.
I have seldom seen Yoff without headgear. He carries. What is it they say? There's an old expression in England. You want to get ahead, get a hat.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
Right.
I think that's so. But
all right, my lovely peeps.
Has a very fashionable collection of millinery.
That was intense, Lisa. I'll have to revisit. Yes, but it is intense. Way back in the beginning of the year, I was talking about this summer and saying July and August, and into September. But especially right now is the real dramatic shifting of things, right? September, October, into November, that'll be reorganizing the things that have shifted, and coming back to a balance about the new reality, you know. But yeah, it is intense. What were you laughing about?
Apparently Savannah has a tiara that Yoff can borrow.
Oh, okay.
He's laughing his butt off. It's like, yeah. I know. I think crown is best.
All right.
Oh, no, Logan, I bet you've got a tiara. I'm sure you
All right.
What the hell? I apologise if I've sent her in quest of a new power brick. Our Wi-Fi is down at work and it's the base station, which is a bit of a problem because we kind of need it to be able to run credit cards and all that sort of stuff. Everything's great when it works, and when it poops the bed, if not, we've got a problem I have to fix.
Okay.
And I don't know how without a new part.
Well, we are going to Kingston, I guess.
It's not going to be inexpensive if they even get them anymore.
All right. Sean, be kind to yourself. You know, this Jupiter-Venus thing is happening close to your sun. And in that house of, I think it's your 12th house because you have Leo rising, if I recall. That's sick that I remember everybody's charts, but whatever. So if you don't take a beat and nurture yourself, you'll get those vacations you don't want, right? You know, like I spent 5 days in the hospital because Spirit said, oh, you won't take a vacation, we'll give you one. You don't want to do that. So put some time aside for yourself. Put some time to allow yourself to enjoy your spirituality, and just work with the things that you really value. Shall I keep going while you...
Yes.
Okay. Gilda. Oh, Gilda. It's interesting that the name for this card is like betrayal. And I don't think this is about someone betraying you. I think it's about you taking action for protection and feeling like that means you have to betray someone else. So sometimes in order to protect your family or what is rightfully yours, you might have to renegotiate a contract or a pledge that the other person may feel is a big betrayal. So again, be direct, be purposeful. You can explain yourself after you make the decision. Okay. Off.
The Orby's dead.
I don't know what an Orby is, but...
It's our Wi-Fi mesh network.
Oh my God.
You don't want to know how much that's going to cost to replace.
Okay. Yoff. This is sort of like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But there is great enlightenment that comes with persevering. So you might feel that you have to really push for something, and you have to push yourself, and it might be annoying, and you might have mini setback, but you know, 2 steps forward, 1 step back means you're still 1 step ahead. So I think you're going to come out okay. You again, focus. This card is also associated with Virgo, so I think once we get to that Virgo new moon, things will lighten up for you a bit. Logan, the Magic Man. This is about remembering who you are and understanding the tools that you're working with, right? As above, so below. What is happening that seems out of your control, and what can you do with your efforts, intuition, and magic to bring it into a space that feels more controlled for you? So this is about responding, not reacting. here comes this stuff down the pike. Let me check my toolbox. What is the best way for me to deal? Okay. Susan.
I'm just going to cry quietly into my coffee.
Do you want to excuse yourself?
No, there's nothing I can do.
Okay.
I don't think a reset's going to work. I think the thing's fried.
Okay.
It's dead.
Susan, gossip, gossip, and more gossip is not going to get to you. I think that what other people say shouldn't really matter unless it affects you deeply financially or has something to do with creating a big drama. So you can't fight the gossip. How do you fight untruths? You may have to just step away from some people. You know who you are, and you know what you're up to, and you know what you can do. And represent yourself from the truth, and then disconnect yourself from the lies.
Thank you. We have another one for the list. We now have Laurie White, who's joining us from somewhere deep down south.
Okay.
And sent us a super chat too. Just one more super chat for the book club peeps, if you can manage it. I'm sure you can, because you're just wonderful people.
Peggy,
she's doing all the readings today.
yeah, that's fine.
I'm just like
I'm
superfluous.
giving you a break because you're in emotional crisis. So
Well, I'm not in emotional crisis. It's just like now I've got a huge.
figure this out. Okay,
Well, yeah.
it's all right. Peggy, it's okay to volunteer, and sometimes that little bit of effort that you do for someone else is rewarded tenfold. Sometimes even the smallest act of kindness can really, really make a huge difference. So I'm going to say to you, keep your eyes open for an opportunity to give a little something and pay it forward, and you'll be amazed at the reward that comes from that.
Where is our old square register thing? Do you remember?
Oh God, it's in a box, isn't it?
Yeah, but where do we
Listen, why don't you just step out and deal with this so you're not contaminating?
I'm good. I just have an idea. I might be able to come up with a workaround. I've just got to remember where the hell we put that. And I don't know.
It's in a box. It's in the square box. All right, Savannah.
But where is it?
Probably in there. Savannah.
It might be. Actually.
Beat him down. Beat him down. You know that this is the whack the mole card, but he's dressed in green. So whatever's happening, you can manage. You just have to be really good at not letting something get out of control, right? So if we think about that, all these things are attacking. And he only has one stick for all these crazy things that are happening.
It's a game of whack-a-mole.
The trick is not to let anything overtake you, right? So some things are going to feel really stressful. Some things are going to feel even more stressful. And some things are going to feel like they want to tsunami you. So this is about organizing and keeping them at bay, right? Prioritizing, right? This is a level 1. This is a level 10. Keep them at bay. All right. Laura O.
Of the North.
Coming to the end of some sort of long working or big project, like maybe you got a commission for something and it's kind of been stirring and you haven't exactly figured out how to finish it, and I think this week you will finish it, or you'll have at least the inspiration to write down how you're going to finish it. And a big payout could come from that. And you might feel very accomplished by the time we get to the new one.
Rightfully so. Which is good.
Taylor.
I'll just let you finish them because
Yeah,
there's no point me diving in at this point.
No, I'm
so
going to do them
just-
because I know. Look, energy follows thought, and I'm in a space where I can read because I don't know anything about what's going on.
That's good then.
You're in a space
I'm
where
just gonna-
you're really stressed out about what's going on,
slip
and I don't
slightly.
want that to filter over into people's readings.
I'm just going to slip slightly out of
right.
out of shot here.
Taylor.
Let's see if I
Oh,
can find-
Taylor. A new social life that brings you much joy. You may have some new friends or some new like-minded people that are helping you to come to a place where you feel you really belong, and that that you can count on these people in a different way than you've been able to count on other friends. So I think that this next couple of weeks is going to be emotional, but also some celebrations. Oh, I think we just got our last super chat. Yay! We'll have book club tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you. Who was
Lizette.
that? Lizette. Oh, well, Lizette's awesome.
No, it was Lori, our Lori, that gave the last super chat. Just as
Oh,
Lizette's
Lori.
card.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Aha. Aha. This is a great energy of peace. And I always remind people that this isn't an M or a W. It is actually the constellation of Cassiopeia. So I think that your message from Spirit is to have a little bit of rabbit hole digging into Cassiopeia and what she stands for. And it's a very interesting constellation in kind of like the center of the Milky Way. And it's been called the throne or the seat of the goddess. But I'd really like to tell you to have some fun researching Cassiopeia, and I think it'll really give you some good information. Anna, card way down here. Anna, continue to represent yourself well. Sometimes others can speak for you, and sometimes you have to speak for yourself. And I think right now, in order to have that energy to get past this crazy Mercury challenge, that you need to stand firm and speak your truth in very, very deliberate fashion. I'm not saying behead somebody, and I'm not saying be nasty, but I'm saying I think you are the person who knows the details of how you can represent yourself well. All right, Carol. Doors opening, opportunities happening, things that bring you joy and delight, and feeling like you can step forward. A lot of us really felt last month like we were stuck. And I think I even talked about it to one person and saying, sometimes we're in that doorway. We're not in the past and we're not in the future. We're in that liminal space. And I think this card is saying you're leaving the liminal and moving forward into a place that will really, really bring you joy. She's doing that dance of delight. All right. Lori, our Lori M. Oh, money coming through being self-employed. So I think things are really, really going to pick up for you as we move towards the fall, that you're going to be working a lot more, and I think you're going to find that other hard work is also paying off. So work that you do on behalf of yourself, or work that you're doing for others to receive payment for yourself, is going to be growing. Kaylee, happy birthday. I usually see this card as a message of trying to find stillness. Our world is hugely chaotic. And we've talked about earthquakes and volcanoes and weather events and governments and military events and all of these things that rock us. Even if we're not paying attention exactly what's happening, it still is that undertone of unrest. And maybe you're a little more sensitive to the chaos than you realize. So I think this is about finding time, receiving Reiki, meditating, or just giving yourself a time to be, where your mind doesn't have to be working on behalf of a ton of other people. So find some alone time. Go lay down in the lawn and watch the clouds or something. Give yourself some respite.
You have to stick Helena on the list. And welcome. She joined late, but she joined.
All right. Juniper.
Thank you for all the birthday wishes, people. You're just lovely.
Juniper. Oh. What are you being your own worst enemy about? What do you think you failed at that you think you can't fix?
Oh, woe is me.
Sometimes things don't always go our way, but that doesn't mean you can't try again. So, we always say what you focus on comes into focus. Try to change your perspective about something. And I know this is going to sound like an old cliche, but sometimes things really do happen for a reason, and what we want isn't what's best for our highest good. So you may have had a narrow escape from something, and now you might have regrets about that. But I think in the long run, you'll find out that the other direction is much healthier for you to go in. All right. Nicole.
Oh dear, poor Helena was having her teeth drilled. That's always fun, isn't it? Is it safe? Is it safe? Marathon man, in case you're wondering.
Nicole.
How are you getting her talking to?
This is about accepting your authority, accepting your sovereignty. This doesn't mean F everybody, but it means you're important and you are the most important. And it's time to recognize that. Instead of dancing to everybody else's fiddle, take the wand and be the orchestra leader. Come to your authority. You have more than you think. Stop trying to dance through everybody else's chaos. Give people back their responsibility and work through your authority.
Worst case scenario, get a big wheel, some mirrored Ray-Bans and go, you will respect my authority.
Oh, yeah.
Authority.
South Park has certainly been making a resurgence, hasn't it?
Oh, yes.
All right. Lori W. Change and renewal. Wiping the slate clean and starting over. I don't know why, but I think there's something going on with property and clearing something or getting an answer to something that helps you there's like letting go of something that you thought you needed in order to achieve something that you really do need. And I feel like it has to do with housing or property, and I think it's a really good thing. But sometimes getting to that light at the end of the tunnel is the tricky part.
Can be.
Yeah, don't let it be a train.
Yes.
All right, Lori.
Please let it not be the headlamp of an oncoming train.
Helena is next. Helena. Growth through contact with foreigners. That's the sentence Spirit gave. Growth through contact with foreigners. A lot of times when I read for you, This has to do with spirituality, astral travel, and those kind of energies. But this, I think, is an actual person who may be from a different country, or there may be some sort of inspiration for you to learn enough of a different language to communicate. So your message is growth through contact with foreigners. All right. Now I'm just going to do card of the week.
Ooh.
And then we're going to close a little early because obviously there's, something big deal going on. And we're going to cope
we have a
with
slight
it.
problem in so much as we can't take credit cards until we've got this fixed.
So I'm sure everybody will understand. And card of the week, hope.
Then we could use some of that.
Right? This is
Hope springs.
Rod. Her word is her bond. Hope springs eternal. Yeah. So just, go back and listen to the beginning. Get inspired about how you're going to take care of your corner.
You didn't do Helena yet?
I did Helena.
Oh, you didn't cross her off then. I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention.
Okay.
I was too busy.
I know. That's why I said you can't read because you're preoccupied.
I'm sorry.
So, power to the people. Power to the people is our message. And off we go. Have a great day. And we'll see you back here at 8 o'clock tonight for
Book
Club.
Yeah, we're going to...
Peace and bright blessings,
I'm going to have to get creative and think
All right.
on my feet, but...
Oh, no.
Oh, great. Or I'll
So
just sneeze my head off.
So
What
professional.
a wonderful
Bye.
broadcast
Thank
today.
you. Yes,
Thank you
great.
for bearing with us, and thank you for the super chats, and thank you for the wonderful birthday wishes. You guys are awesome. We love you to small pieces. Have a beautiful day, and we'll see you at 8. Bye for now.
Bye. Good.